6. Schedule your appointment today at Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan man!
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio
At St. Lucie
station.
Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that wants to learn more about careers with Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Improve your golf game fast at the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has the facilities, tools, and coaching you need. Enjoy the best facilities in the area with an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, a huge putting green, plus a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, cutting-edge analysis technology, and more. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike. Find out more at kaisergolfcenter.com.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
As market dynamics change, the quality of service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Anshin Accountants and Advisors take the time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions tailored to meet your goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver where others can't. Visit anchin.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, recalculating what's possible.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
You know, some people say it's a saying. It's not the plane, it's the pilot. It's not the car, it's the driver. It's not the driver. It's not the person driving the vessel. It's the vessel. It's the ship. It's the ship. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 1063. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat. Why do I say this? I have to lead with this. I don't do this a lot, but this is a bad day. So I decided that I was going to do a full threshold test. I'm doing a half Ironman in 6 weeks. I'm going to do a full, and I don't know. I'm winging the training.
So hang on. We're starting with a half, and then you're going to...
If all goes well. If all goes well.
If all goes well on the half, you're going to do a full.
Do a full. And for those who don't know, a full is 2.5 swimming miles, 112 miles biking, gag, and 26.2 running. So this is an endeavor. You know, it takes somebody who does it well 12 hours, 13 hours. It takes somebody who does it great 10 hours. A half is half of that. So do the math. 56 miles biking, 13 miles running, and then 1.2 swimming. It goes swim, bike, run. So I've done all the thresholds. What do I mean by that? I've done the full distances in their own right. I've done the full run. I've done the full swim, and today was the day that I was going to do the full bike. So that's 56 miles on the bike. Let's just get this out of the way. I hate biking.
Oh.
I do not understand the appeal. And I've been doing it. I'm 3 months in. I was never a cyclist. I just still, to this day, do not understand the appeal. Why do I say it's not it's the driver, not the car? Or it's the car, not the driver? Because I think that with biking and cycling, it has nothing to do with the person pedaling the bike. Yeah, there's something to do with it, with the leg strength and the whole thing, but it's the vessel. I have a $260 road bike off the rack, if you will. And I use this thing, and it's crossing the finish line. This is a self-inflicted wound. I understand this. But I did 58 miles this morning. 58. I started at sunrise. I got up at 5. I did it in Jupiter because I can't do the same loop around my home. I can't do that. I'm not going to go on Okeechobee and risk death 11 times every block. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
So I did it in Jupiter where the people do it up and down the water, which is nice. It was over by the lighthouse. And I got there. I started at sunrise. And it was one of those bikes. If you ever cycle before, you know pretty early on if this is going to be a good bike or a bad bike. And I knew within 300 meters that this was going to be a bad one. This was the worst. It took me, with stoppages, and I had to stop because a hurricane came through. It was like classic. It was classic South Florida weather where it comes for like 20 minutes, and it's like a category 4, and then it goes away and it's sunshine. I had one of those. So it took about 4 hours.
To do 56 miles?
4 hours. If I did the strict bike, probably took about 3.5. But I did about 30 minutes. I usually stop for about 3-4 minutes here, 3-4 minutes there. I stop for about 3-4 minutes every 11-12 miles.
Are you allowed to stop during the Ironman?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
And I do that. Nutrition is big. So you got to eat things during it because you just need the energy.
Yeah.
So, number one, I tremendously underpacked for that.
You didn't bring enough.
I did not bring enough. There's Goose. It's like a syrup that like gets you going and gets you its energy. I probably should have brought like 7 or 8. I had 3. And I finished my water on mile 20. So I was in trouble.
Oh, God.
It was the guttiest performance of my career.
Wait. You had no water after mile 20?
It was like mile 27.
You did 30. So you did 30-ish miles without any water?
Yeah, it was gutty. It was gutty. I was at the point where I was riding my bike through a sprinkler to get a sense, to get a feel. Oh,
just open your mouth
water.
a bit. Get some
water.
mist.
And I wasn't stopping. I'm one of those, like, I'm going to do this. I made my decision. I'm going to do this.
Right.
One of the guttiest performances of my career. And it got me thinking, cycling and what people do in these triathlons is they have these, it's a rig, it's a vessel, and it's a $12,000 setup of shoes, pedals, aerodynamic helmet that makes you look like an astronaut.
Right.
The suit, the suit, they got the suit, the one piece.
Bike guy.
You know a cyclist.
I know bike guy.
And listen, all the power to them because they're a lot faster than I am. And I got a crappy bike, and, I'm like I compare it to a pirate ship. I'm a pirate ship, and they're speedboats. Just so much wind resistance. But I was starting to think, I'm not tired, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm not tired. This is on mile 50. I am not tired. I'm uncomfortable. Cycling is all about your ability to stay on it and withstand the pain.
Dude, I don't know how males get on a bike and go 50. Colin, I couldn't do it. My you-know-what would get, all right? My you-know-what would give out.
Be careful.
It would give out within 10 miles.
You're right.
I'd be done.
You've sat on like a normal bike with the wide seat. That's fine. And that's actually okay. The road bike, the seat, it's like the width of like a high school textbook. And it's maybe 2 inches across.
You're sitting on an arrow.
And
you're sitting on an arrow.
Sitting it for 4 hours. I was so pissed off by the end of it. I almost threw my bike into the inlet, into the intercoastal. I almost threw it in. I'm done with this. This was one of those bad days. I do not understand it. Because if I had one of those vessels where you're basically horizontal and you're just pedaling, I'd fly.
Yep.
But I don't have the vessel, so I can't go that speed.
I love how you call it a vessel. The seat, Kyle. Get a cushion.
I know, but you can't. Apparently, the more cushion, it's like counterproductive. I think you're going to be as uncomfortable.
Well, you know what are going to they're going to be crushed.
Believe it or not,
that's what I'm worried about.
The groin area, it doesn't get as hurt as you think.
They'd give out.
It's the butt. It's just strictly on like the butt. It hurts so much.
I disagree, man.
I'm telling you, I'm like
Kyle. The other ones, I think for me would give out before my bum. But understood.
Point being, it's not about the driver there. It's like car racing. There's drivers, they're all very good, but the best car wins.
Yeah, you look at
It's the same thing with cycling. The best bike wins, not the best cyclist.
Here's the good news, though. You're not trying to win. You're just trying to cross the finish line.
But after the 1100th person that has passed me, I'm a little annoyed. The competitive spirit in me is a little. The ego's getting shot a little bit, and I understand that. I'm not trying.
First one.
I'm not the last one.
What do you mean you're doing the full one?
After the full.
Okay.
That's 112, by the way. 888-760-3776. If you're a cyclist and you want to valiantly defend it, I think it's all about the bike. It's not about the cyclist.
You shouldn't do.
I'm not that tired. Why am I 50 miles in? The leg strength is challenged. My legs are a little sore, but I'm not tired. I'm not endurance tired. And if I had one of those bikes that, you got to call the bank to go get, and you're horizontal and aerodynamic, you fly. No problem.
Why?
I'm on a piece of garbage.
Can I ask you something? This sounds miserable.
No, it was funny.
Swimming, the biking, now running, you can do that. I'm not worried about everything else. Why do you want to do a full? This sounds terrible. This sounds like a punishment. You know what I'm saying?
It was just one of those things.
Are you trying
I like the swimming. I do enjoy it.
Are you trying to prove something to yourself?
Yes. That's the whole idea. That's why I do it. It's a challenge. You do it for the challenge. You do it for the mental, the spiritual win. But it's just one of those days where I had to complain about it because I don't think cycling, I still don't understand the appeal. And I'm getting better at it, and I'm getting faster at it. Another big thing with cycling is clip-in shoes. You're attached to the bike.
What shoes did you have?
I used to do my sneakers, and just free willy it a little bit. But
dude, oh my!
But I just recently got the clip-in shoes.
Oh,
so you have to get special pedals for that, and it runs you up on the money side, which is annoying. But you attach it to the thing, and it's these tiny little thing. It's like a Peloton. You've ever seen those shoes?
I have.
And you attach it to that, and you can't attach. You attach it by going on top of it, and then to detach it, you can't lift up your foot, and it comes off. You have to click your heel sideways, and it unhinges that way.
What happens if you crash? You're losing a leg.
Great question. So whenever you're attached on one and you're trying to get the other and it won't attach and you're trying to pedal but you can't because there's no surface area if you're not attached. On mile 24, 25, no, it was after my second stop. So it was about mile 24, 23. I'm in the road. I'm on the side of the road. I'm trying to attach my second shoe to the bike. And I had it down to a science. You had to get a little speed and then work to attach it. Somehow or some way, I was overleaning on my right side and I'm trying to pedal that. The road bike just takes a mind of its own. I go right. I'm probably going maybe 9-10 miles an hour, go right down in the concrete in the middle of the road. In the middle of the road in Jupiter. And I got cars on both ways looking at me. And the worst part is I'm attached to the bike.
Yep.
So I can't even get up because I am attached to this vessel sideways on the road. And this is one of those moments where you can only laugh about it. So I'm laughing. I'm scraped up. I'm not even halfway there. And all the cars, I held up my hand. Stop. Don't kill me. And then there was one guy, the one guy I did see in the car, he was laughing at me. All right, fine. He was laughing at me. But you get up, you're working fast. You got to act like it doesn't hurt too, right? This is the male ego side of it. You got to get up like nothing ever happened. And
how'd you get out though?
You got it. So I had to unclick it with my heel while I was sideways, and then I crawled out from under it, and then I lifted it up, and then we got on it again. So after that, I moved to the side of the road. I'm like, all right, I don't want these cars watching when I'm these specific two cars that saw me do this. I don't want them to watch when I try to reattach. And then they left, and I was able to do it. But that was problem number one. I was under the impression today And sometimes people have those days where there was a God figure, like a deity, working against me. Buddha,
a deity,
Joseph Smith, Jesus, whatever you want to call it. Somebody was working against me. And it was one of those days. Nothing was clicking. And it just got me annoyed at the cyclists. It got me annoyed.
I told you the hardest part is going to be the bike. Now, maybe, I understand you're not going to spend $12,000 on a bike. Maybe you meet halfway?
No.
Maybe you go $2,000 for a bike?
No.
How? It's either that or whatever death trap that you're riding right now.
It's not a death trap.
Yes,
it works.
Sounds
it's
like a
functional.
death trap.
It's just wildly uncomfortable, and it's slow,
man.
It's a pirate ship. It's functional.
Listen, Blackbeard had a great pirate ship. Don't associate pirate ships as being a hunk of
Hold on a
crap.
second. It's like I'm trying to win the Indy 500 with a Honda Odyssey. That's what I'm trying. That's what it sounds like. So I don't really know. I'm not going to change the bike because I did 58. I finished it. And, it didn't go great, but I was able to do it. I'm 6 weeks out, so I got plenty of time to, continue to refine. I'm going to do it with the current bike. That current bike is crossing that finish line in Colorado. But if I do the full and I do 112 miles on the bike,
no.
I need something different.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to spend at least $2,000.
I don't know what I might try to meet somebody, Facebook Marketplace.
Hang on, who? You had a bike guy, I thought.
I do have a bike guy. That's who I got it from.
And he knows his bike is a piece of garbage?
No, it's just you get what you pay for.
Does he have more expensive bikes?
Yes.
You should get a more expensive bike.
No.
Colin, if you're going to go all in.
Yeah, but the thing is you only do it once. And then
Why?
you sell it after?
Just do the half. You don't need to do the full.
No, I got to do it.
Why? This isn't making any sense to me.
I got to do it.
What?
I think I got to do it.
Why? I got to ask.
I couldn't tell you why.
What do you mean?
It's a personal challenge. If I'm already here, I might as well go there. It's one of those things, I'm already halfway there. You might as well just do it all.
Might as well just,
And where's the full? Madison, Wisconsin.
Dude, I want to go.
To the full?
I want to go
Here's
to Madison.
the kicker. Here's the problem. It's week 1 of the NFL season.
Yeah, you're not going either.
No, I'm going. Unfortunately, we're going to have to clear that with the bosses, but I'm going.
Remember, all right, I asked if we could go to the Ohio State and Badger game. And
October 18th.
And all hell broke loose.
Yes, I'm going to have to clear this.
Yeah,
I haven't asked anybody yet, but I'm going to have to clear that.
I asked to go. By the way, the Badgers, a partner of this great company, Good Karma Brands, all hell broke loose because I tried for us to go to a game in Madison. But you're going to get off to do a full, God only knows what, Ironman.
13 hours on the bike.
How are you getting your bike? I have so many.
How do I get my bike there?
Yeah, how you
working on that? I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm gonna figure that out.
Are we a month away? Where's Chris Swagger, the AD of Kaiser, when I need him?
No. All you gotta get a bike.
Should have been figured out.
You could rent a case. Some people have the cases are like $900.
Oh my God! You might as well get a bike. You might as well get a new bike.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody said that. You might as well get a new bike there. I've considered the idea.
You spent $200 on some death trap, and then you're gonna spend $900 on the bag. No, dude.
No, I'm not doing that. That's a case. Usually, I'd be surprised if I can't find somebody with biking experience.
And then we haven't
that has a case that I could borrow. I feel like that's a good Samaritan thing to do.
We haven't even talked about the altitude change that you're going to have to endure.
I'm not. I'm telling you, that's at the back of my mind. I'm not even thinking about it.
Granted, my Auntie Susie, my mom's sister Colin, and Michael, my cousin Michael lives in Boca now. He grew up in Vail. And I know Boulder and Vail, big difference in altitude.
I believe Vail is much higher, right?
It is a lot higher, damn near 10 times higher. But the point I'm trying to make is, Colin, it's still, like, dude, altitude sickness is a real thing. Altitude stuff is a real thing. Ask the athletes. Ask the athletes when they play.
I'm not going to get the sickness.
When Bron would go play mellow at the Pepsi Center, it was a thing, man.
He'd be a little more tired.
Yes. And you're swimming for 4 hours. You're biking for an hour.
The swim will take me about 35, 40 minutes.
You get the point.
Right.
You're exerting your body for 6 hours straight, and you have had no practice in the altitude. Are you getting there a couple of days early?
I think so. Yeah, I'm getting there a couple of days early.
You should do a test run.
You can't do a test run 2 days before you do the real thing. You can't do that. You're going to be shot.
Yeah, you have a point.
So I think
how long? What's the recovery time? Maybe,
dude, you're not doing a half 2 days before the half.
Not 2 days.
What's
but
the point of doing a half before I do the half?
I'll take a Saturday, fly to Boulder.
No.
Fly to
That's
Boulder.
too much. That's
Too much. I'm
That's
worried
stupid.
about your well-being.
I'll be all right.
Here's
the thing. Here's the
Need a
positive.
defibrillator.
Here's the
for
positive.
you.
Number one, I have an ankle monitor, so you can see where I'm at while I do it online.
Does it have heart rate and stuff like that?
I don't think it has heart rate, but if I'm out of the water, we're good. He made it. He's gonna survive.
If you're out of the water, you just spent 15 minutes talking about the death trap of a bike you're on.
No, but
and you had the audacity to tell me if you're out of the water, we're good. I completely disagree.
No, hold on. If he made it, if he's out of the water, he made it. He'll survive.
I think you're good in the water too. It's a reservoir. It's not like you're swimming against a current.
You know the worst part?
What's
It's
the worst
ice cold.
Frozen.
Yeah, it's ice cold.
Like,
It's not frozen.
So, Colin, I grew up.
Think about Colorado, a reservoir.
The reason I'm asking, I grew up swimming in Agunquit, Maine, with my uncle Patrick, who's from Boston.
Right.
That water was like 48 degrees.
Yeah, the
How
water
cold?
does not.
How cold?
The same thing
60?
with Madison. The water does not get warmer until like Labor Day.
So what? 60?
I don't know.
What are you dipping into?
I got a wetsuit, so I bought a wetsuit.
Trust me, you showed the whole office. You're wet. You in your wetsuit. There's not anybody in this office who hasn't seen you in the wetsuit. What I'm asking is the temperature.
I don't know.
A wetsuit can only do so much.
No, the wetsuit will be fine. We'll be fine. Some guy did mention that I should get things for my feet, but I think I'll be okay. If I come out with frostbite, we're gonna be in some trouble. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
Come out with frostbite. I'm gonna have a lot of questions about
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna happen. Other people are gonna do it. Point being, I really think cycling is about the vessel and less about the actual person riding it.
I think it's time to debunk the not pay $900 for a bike case and find a nice
Dude,
person in Boulder, Colorado that's going to have a bike for you that you could buy for $900. That's where I'm at this point.
Because then what are you going to do with the bike after Boulder?
Spend $900 to do an Ironman, bud.
No, but
I don't know.
all I'm saying is like
Give
once
it back.
give
What's
it
the
back.
return policy?
Yeah.
Get a fifth,
next day.
Give a fifth of your money back. Here's $200 for the $900 bike you just bought.
Yeah, right. Right off the lot, you lose half its value.
Whatever. That's why
I think I'll be able to, because you get one of these bags, you stick a fragile tag on it, you'll print it out at the office, tape it on, fragile, don't touch.
Yeah, until some guy who's having a bad day at the airline says, damn bike, throws it in there.
You're right, but it'll be in a bag.
And next thing you know, you go to pedal, you strap into your death trap, and the whole thing
The
just
best
gets
thing is
out.
I'm attached.
Folds like a deck of cards.
I'm attached. That's the best part.
The best thing, I would have paid some serious money to see you try to get out of your attachments in Jupiter, Florida this morning.
Yeah, in the middle of the road.
In the middle of the road. You said some guy was laughing. He stopped and started laughing.
There was one guy, and there was two sides of cars. The other car was pulling up slowly. The other guy was stopped.
You were just complete like a rat in a trap, like stuck.
Yeah. It was probably so slow in my perspective that it probably happened a lot faster in real time. You know, one of those things.
But I hear you on you got to get up like you're not in.
You got to get up like nothing happened.
That hit like home.
You got to get up like nothing happened. And that's fine. And like it didn't hurt that much. You get scraped up a little bit. You're all right.
I'm a clumsy guy, and I've had my.
Yeah, you fall.
I've had my
you gotta
falls.
act like nothing ever happened.
Exactly.
And then you laugh, but I'm laughing about it. But like you get up and you're like,
yeah,
give him a little
Kyle,
wave.
you get up, do a little high knee, lick your tongue.
I give him a little thumbs up, and then
you're
he
all
moves
good.
on.
Rub some spit on it. You're all good.
Less about the actual. When people say it's not the plane, it's the pilot, they're wrong.
Yep.
It's the plane. It's the car. And in a race, it's the car.
Well, yeah.
In a cycling race, it's the bike.
Took me a long time to understand, Colin, in Formula One. Like my brother would go, they just had the better technology that race. They knew what they were doing with the engine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Even back in the old days when Ferrari dominated for decades.
Right. They had the
car.
Yes. They had the technology and they had the car.
There was reason in that, like when they went to like Le Mans and they had 3 racers finish in the top 3. It's not because they had the 3 best drivers. They had the 3 best cars.
So you're telling me you're going to finish dead last in Boulder?
No. I'm not letting that happen.
Dead last?
No. There's people that like literally crawl through it. You know where I'm going to win the race?
Huh.
In the run.
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to win the race in the run.
You could run.
I'm going to
I'll
win
give
the
you
race in the run.
I'll give you that.
That's what people say. You win the race in the run. You survive the swim, and then the bike, you got to get into a rhythm. I haven't found that rhythm yet with the bike.
Did I not tell you when this whole thing started, the bike was going to be the biggest
But
issue?
here's the good thing. I did the full distance. I didn't feel good after, but like I feel like 6 weeks out, I've done all, and people don't do that. Like, when they train for a marathon, they don't run 26.2 at any point. They top off at like 17, 18.
Maybe I'm not doing it right, but that's what I'm just like, I'm going to do all three. Just give myself confidence. It's a big confidence thing.
Yeah.
A lot of it, you just got to prove that you can do it.
So how many miles are you running? I know we're not
13 after all of it.
It's still a lot, man.
That is a lot. If I run well, it'll take me about an hour and a half.
Let's put it this way.
It'll take me about an hour and a half.
I do 3 miles on the treadmill about 5 days a week. I'm huffing and puffing almost at 2.8. I'm screaming to my Lord, like, how the hell aren't I done with this yet? You know what I mean? Because I go straight through. Kyle, 13's a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot.
It's going to take a while.
Wow.
So, yeah. And I don't know how I'm going to feel, but adrenaline's a big thing during these races. Like, you're jacked up. You know, are
you going to listen to music on the bike?
No music. No music.
Stop it.
No phones. Nothing like that. No, you can't do it.
You can't listen to music when you're running?
No.
It's the only way I'd be able to do it.
No.
So just your surroundings for 6 hours.
And I talk to myself when I'm biking because imagine 4 hours on the bike. I don't care what I'm listening to. I started talking to myself.
Colin, I talk to if I was doing this for 6 hours with no music, I'd be screaming.
Yeah.
Literally screaming.
Yeah.
Everybody would hear me.
I have full conversations with myself in the shower.
Yeah,
nonetheless,
that's
a bike for 4 hours. So I was talking to myself. I was having full-fledged conversations. I was annoyed at everything. Oh, it was one of those days. But it just got me thinking. I do not know how people love cycling. I don't. And I'm giving it an honest try.
Yeah,
I do not.
Because, Colin, they spend $3,000 on a bike and probably $4,000 on a suit. That's why they love cycling. They have the equipment to do it. You keep calling it a pirate ship. I'm telling you, those pirates had it made back then. I don't even think they were plundering for it.
Well, I understand.
They had gold baselines on their friggin'...
But the point is, it was just
they had gold cannons.
It was bulky. It wasn't fast. My thing is bulky.
You're a scavenger.
My body is upright, so there's a lot of wind resistance.
You're a bandit.
I'm a sailboat.
Your bike was a bandit.
I'm a sailboat.
Bandito.
I'm like a catamaran. Not a lot of speed to it, but it's bulky. It's got some size.
You're a bandit. You just stole that thing off the rack.
No.
You're wearing shoes that you found on
I bought
a carcass.
I bought the shoes. I bought nice shoes. I bought the cheapest one they got, but they were nice. And I did buy little new pedals.
You're wondering why you're hurting. You went the cheap route.
Well, you have to. I don't have the funds to do the whole thing. And I'm spending money on flights. The race is not cheap. Like, I don't know why I'm doing this.
Yeah, that's why
I'm doing this.
But you're going to do a full in the middle of football season.
No, at the beginning of football season.
When our general manager almost
hold on. Let's think about this for a
freaked out
second.
on me for asking to go to...
What a kickoff into the season, though. Hold on. That hanging up your cleats then?
You said first week of NFL season.
Yes, so you missed 2 weeks. You're doing it 2 weeks of college, but that's like taper week where you're really taking it easy. So I'd enjoy those games. I'd miss the first Jags game because they're definitely going to be a 1 o'clock game, which I'd be upset about. But the ultimate thing is that'd be the kickoff into the fall season. That'd be it. I'd throw my bike into the pond at Madison. In the Lake Mendota, I'd throw it in. Goodbye.
How's Lake Mendota?
It's beautiful. That's why I wanted to do it. Madison is a great one, which is why I'd be into that. But
is it a household name?
It's a big one.
In the Ironman.
Everybody likes it because it's a good time of the year. It's right before the fall season. So everybody can kind of...
It's right before it gets to negative 10 degrees wind
like
chill
a week later. But the good news is the water's warm because it's right after the entire summer. So we'll see. I like where I'm at, though.
I don't. I sure don't. Everything you just told me, this bike, you're going to swim and you're going to get on this bike in the altitude and Boulder, and you need to get a bike in Boulder.
You know what a big problem is?
Huh.
Your bowel movements.
Yeah. Trust me, from someone.
No. Like
I've had a history of digestive issues. Like, I'd be in real trouble, dude. 6 hours? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
That's a problem.
Like, what do you eat before? What do you eat the night before?
Like a lot of pasta and stuff like that.
Pasta?
Yeah, like carbs.
Clog me up, man. I'd be in trouble if I ate a ton of pasta before I had to go swim, bike, and run. Dude, I'd be in trouble.
The night before.
Kyle, I'd be in trouble.
5 minutes before.
I mean, what's
You're
on
the Olive Garden?
Kyle, I was about to ask, what's on the pasta?
Dude, I don't know. You go to get the paninis from the
what?
What's the thing called?
Panini?
No, the brand, the with the blue logo with the red letters. The Panini, is that what it's called?
Berea.
Berea.
You're Italian,
yeah.
bro.
The tomato. and you get the penne, and you just cook that up, and that's what you get.
Okay, so you're just
No, I'm
eating
talking about
noodle.
the brand.
You're just eating noodle?
Dude, I haven't
Just straight noodle out of the...
Mike, I haven't figured out my pregame meal, all right?
Dude.
I don't even know how I'm going to get my bike there.
That's
all
a
right?
big thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I'm eating a bottle of... If I'm eating a bowl of Boston red sauce, I might be in trouble come lap number 56 on the bike, brother.
You
That's all I'm
don't do
saying.
the red sauce.
Might need to go find me a tree.
You don't do the red sauce.
Might need to go find you a tree in the middle of the biking.
You don't
okay?
do the red sauce. You don't do the red
God,
sauce. You
man.
just do the pasta.
Stay away from Ama's meatballs,
You
too,
just do
man.
the, what do you
geez,
suggest
man.
we eat? A steak? How do you think that's going to sit?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know. Like I said, like these. If I was doing this, I was the athlete, Colin. I'm the complete opposite. I hated eating before a basketball game.
I agree.
I hated it.
I agree with that.
I can't eat
I like working out fasted too.
on an empty stomach. I like working out on an empty stomach. Like that's the one thing I'll give you your props for because you've turned me into a morning workout person. I love working out on an empty stomach. Like
you physically can't do it with that long of a race.
But
you're just gonna crash.
Can't you eat your gorp and your paste?
Yeah, but I haven't. Yes, but I need more.
Like, can't you eat light and then just
maybe
fuel up
a bagel?
during?
Maybe a bagel. How about a bagel?
Are you allowed to backpack? I would have like a
no, you're allowed
very
to bring stuff, but like what people do is they like tape it to the bike.
What?
Yeah, so they can have
why
it.
not just do a fanny pack? Like put the
Yeah,
fanny pack.
people do fanny packs
Put
too.
the fanny pack
You can
where
do that.
you're out of the water.
Yeah, I have
right?
I have not a fanny pack, but I have like it's like a utility belt, and you can put stuff on it.
Okay.
So I have one of those.
That's going to be when you get out of the water.
But they
The
also
swimming's
on the
first.
race, similar to like the water stations at like a 10K, they have like gels and electrolyte stuff.
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't eat a lot before.
But the thing is, you could take that stuff, but if your stomach's not used to it, you're going to be at the porta potty before the next aid
That's
station.
what I'm saying. Like, dude, if you eat too much or whatever, you're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah,
You're gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
That would be the number one thing I'd be concerned.
yeah, I agree
for myself.
I completely
is
agree.
bathroom breaks.
I think it's that more than anything, but we'll see. I don't know. You know what they do?
What do they do?
Because apparently, towards the end of the race, when people are like struggling along trying to get some energy, they have Cokes, like Coca-Cola.
Well, yeah, it gets your blood sugar going.
Right. But apparently it's one of those things where if you go to one aid station, the other one, which is like a mile apart, and you go to one and you get a Coke and you drink it, it gives you a rush, right?
Shocks
you get
the
a
system.
but then you crash.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Like
big
halfway between the two aid
Oh,
stations.
dude, big
and then
time.
you do it again. And then you do it again.
So you're just drinking 15 Cokes. I'd have a heart attack.
Right.
I'd have a literal
I don't think I'm
going
to do that. I don't think I'm going to do that.
I don't believe
But that is a thing.
I don't believe in pop.
That is a thing. That is a thing. Now I'm just gonna have to bring a bunch of.
I would
I'm gonna have
stick-
to bring a. They call it goose. I'm gonna have to bring a bunch of goose.
You're goose. You're goose.
I'm gonna have to
And-
bring a
and
bunch of goose.
Take it from me. Be careful the night before. Nothing
Pasta.
crazy.
Pasta's not crazy.
Nothing crazy.
Pasta's not crazy.
Back me up.
Pasta's.
It backed me up.
Listen, you get
A noodle would back me
spaghetti
up.
and meats and meatballs.
Noodles,
with
Colin,
garlic bread. Yeah, you're gonna get burnt. But I mean, if you do normal straight pasta,
That's why I never believed in that. Like everyone's like, oh, you got to eat a lot of noodles before you go. I don't believe in that at all.
you haven't done it.
It backs me up. Noodles back me up.
I don't know. I'm not getting ramen.
Back me
I'm not
up.
getting with the soy sauce and the clams and the shrimp. I'm
still
not
a
doing
noodle.
that.
Still a noodle. I don't know. Maybe we need an expert to talk to on this. I don't know. I'm very concerned for you. And the fact that you want to do
Tina's
a full,
big. Christina Costanza's big on the nutrition. She's been helping to a degree, but she's only done the marathon.
what did she run for like 5 hours straight? That's
Yeah.
still hard. Bro.
Right. I agree. I'm not
Still very
denouncing
hard.
it, but I'm just saying like that might be. I don't know if her thing is sustainable over a longer period of time. Her diet, I would say, for it.
You guys are inspiring me.
You wanna do it?
No, I want to run.
Run how long?
I could do like I told you, I could do a 5K in my sleep. But the problem
Have
is
you done a 10?
Never. And that's
You've never done it. That's 6.2.
not straight.
If you
Not
run
straight
3,
through. Not
you
straight through.
could walk at a bed. You could
Okay.
wake up tomorrow and do 6.
So how I operate, I don't want to stop. You know what I mean? I want to do it straight through.
Then go slower.
I want to do it straight
Then
through.
go slower.
So my miles right now, Colin, on my 5K that I run 5-6 days a week, it takes me about 9:15-ish, 9:20 to run a mile.
On a pace.
On a pace. I go 6.5 on the treadmill and I just go. And my friends think I'm an absolute psychopath. They're like, I don't know how you're able to. That's why I tell them, I'm like, dude, music is everything to me.
Right. You need input.
Like, I need music. Like, if I didn't have music, and I got on the treadmill, I'd cry.
Yeah, you need
I'd
input.
cry.
That's why you
Like-
gotta. You
like
don't
if
like
I-
running
like
outdoors. Well, you ran outdoors. Is that remember when you brought your cards with you and you got burned there?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I do.
So was that the last time you ran outside?
It was.
Really?
Have
Have you shared this story on air?
No.
Do you want to?
You could tell it. I don't want it.
You don't want to tell it. So Mike picks me up once. Where were we going? Do you remember where we were going?
I think we were
We were going to the Boca Bowl. We were going to the Boca Bowl.
Oh, I thought we were going out to eat with the old man. Okay.
No, we were going to the Boca
We were
Bowl.
going to the Boca
Can I tell the story?
You could tell it. It's embarrassing, but
Mike was he picks me up. He's in a rush. You could tell when Mike had a long morning. You could tell when Mike's had a long morning. So I'm like, what the hell's the matter with you? And he goes, I went for a run this morning, which is pretty standard for the schedule. And he goes, I've been at the bank for the last hour. At the bank. You went for the run? Would you go, to withdraw some cash for the Boca Bowl? And on the way, he's like, no, I ran, and somehow or other, I didn't notice the cards in my pocket fell out during the run.
So I didn't notice this until I went to go to work.
And somebody picked up his cards and took him for a ride at Best Buy.
At Best Buy on it's exit 71 Palm Beach.
So you
Lakes.
might be wondering the thing I wondered immediately. Why the hell are you running with your cards in your pocket? Credit card, debit card. Why the hell is that on your person when you're running? But you ran with everything. You ran with your wallet. You ran with your. I understand keys and I understand phone.
Here's the thing. I don't have a wallet. I don't. So leave
it on the counter. Just leave it on the counter.
But I didn't know they were in my shorts, and I wear when I run, I wear high-waisted shorts.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
with loose pockets.
Yeah, exactly. And
basketball
they flew out.
shorts.
And they flew out. Now, Colin, since then, I have our ESPN West Palm Beach where all my cards go. If you're watching on YouTube, that's my system right there.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, it is. I've learned my lesson. Trust me. But yeah, it was.
I don't understand why
during
you were
the
doing
holidays. They took my credit cards and my debit cards, and they just went on a shopping spree.
Yeah, and
they just went on a
Their
shopping.
family had a wonderful Christmas.
Correct.
Whoever did that.
Correct.
And then you were at the bank and the whole
Then I
thing.
had to fly home. Thank God my.
And that was the last time you ran outside. That scared you enough by going outside.
Now I'm on the treadmill now.
Right.
I'm on the treadmill now.
You could have just left the cards at home.
Here's the issue though. I was Colin, I say I'm a morning person, but I hate waking up early. So I get up at 7:30.
You do it anyway though.
And it's God, what the hell am I doing? Why am I up?
You do it anyway.
So I'm so tired. I'm throwing everything on. I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice. I put my phone in the other pocket and I did clear. They could have been in there. It didn't even matter. Just that's probably what happened. My phone was probably in the pocket the cards were in, and the phone was bouncing around and probably flung out the cards. But yeah, that was the last time I ran outside.
We got to find you a little challenge to do. We'll find you a physical challenge to do.
That was the last time I ran outside.
We got to find you something.
I think it's that 6. What is it? 10K? 6? I think that's
6.2.
I think that's probably it. But I can't. I struggle running straight through 3 miles right now. Granted, I'm not eating the diet that I would probably need to eat.
You're going too fast. That's it.
That's definitely it.
That's it. You're going too fast.
That's definitely it.
So once you're on a treadmill, it's a steady pace. If you actually just went outside and did it, you'd be able to do it tomorrow. No problem.
I think I'm with you.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat, Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. We're live from the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. It is a Friday, May 2nd edition of the program. Deviate from the normal sports topics, but the Knicks close out the Pistons last night. The Clippers forced a Game 7 last night. We got a big Game 6 with the Rockets and the Warriors. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to dive into. Stick around for it as we continue onward here. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Get a taste of that winning feeling before the buzzer sounds with ESPN Bet's Early Victory promo. Simply place a pregame moneyline bet on any NBA playoff game, and if the team you back goes up by 20 or more points at any point in the game, your bet will get paid out early. Available throughout the NBA playoffs at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
The NBA playoffs are here, and there's no better place to catch the action than at Hurricane Grill and Wings. With slam dunk specials like Miller Lite Drafts for just $3.75, plus fresh, never frozen wings in over 30 flavors and big screens everywhere, this is your home for all the games. Cold beer, handcrafted cocktails, bold flavors, big plays. Don't just watch the games, experience them at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar & Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies, and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar & Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach. Are you ready for a global summer showdown? Saturday, June 14th at Hard Rock Stadium. Football legends collide at the opening match of the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. Al Ahly versus Inter Miami. Messi, Jordi Alba, and Inter Miami take on Jamal Mashour and Mohamed El Shenawi of the Egyptian powerhouse Al Ahly. Don't miss your chance to be part of history. Saturday, June 14th at Hard Rock Stadium. Grab your tickets now at FIFA.com/tickets.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Are you one of those people that just can't focus at home? The dog barks, the kids are screaming, and you're thinking, how am I going to get all of this work done? Working from home can be distracting, but Intelligent Office is here to help you focus. They offer quiet and affordable private office and meeting spaces in Palm Beach Gardens to help you get your work done. Call 561-472-8400 or visit intelligentoffice.com to reserve an office today.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Listen, if you got into a bike accident like I did this morning, you had a car accident, truck accident, had a slip and fall, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, they're the type to fight for you. They don't charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Don't settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine today, because that's the Anajar and Levine difference. All it takes is one phone call to take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call for that free consultation today. That's 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Take back control now with Anajar and Levine. We got Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat from the City Play Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. Also on your radio dial at ESPN 106.3. Greg Popovich, the 76-year-old all-time great coach, who unfortunately, terribly, suffered a stroke earlier in the season, had to step away from the team. He didn't know whether he was coming back or not. Health issues sporadically coming up. It's been a really rough go at it for the last 3 years or so for getting Popovich consistently on the floor. And Popovich, who is a godfather to the NBA, he was somebody who popularized, ball movement and load management, unfortunately, but, led those Spurs teams over the course of 3 decades, or which is the most mind-boggling thing. I don't know if there's a coach that has had as much success with one team over a differentiated period of time like the Spurs did and like Popovich did. When he got there at 96, and then all of a sudden they get there at 99 they won, and then they won again in the 2000s, and then, of course, finishing it off in 2014. Like for Popovich to walk away, not only do I think it's the right time, but I think it's unfortunate you don't get to see him on the sideline the last time, but it doesn't take away from what he was able to accomplish as a head coach. He was one of the all-time greats, if not the best.
Him and Phil Jackson, I think, are probably my 2 GOATs of the NBA. Now, Popovich has the most wins, regular season wins in NBA history. But like when you think of the best ever, obviously Phil Jackson and all the championships he won with Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Shaq and company. But this is an ambassador for the game. This is a coach that will be unrivaled for a very long time, I feel like, Colin, of longevity and being with the same club for as long as he's been. You mentioned the 3 decades. He won championships in the 90s. He won championships in the 2000s. He won championships in the 10s. So 3 decades, championships all across the board. All the accolades to be one of the best ever, and not to mention how many Hall of Fame players that he coached as well. The Duncans, the Admirals, the Tony Parkers, the Manu Ginobilis, the Kawhi Leonards. And I know Kawhi Leonard, I don't want to say recently got back to stardom because Leonard has always been good. They'll take it that way, but like Leonard being the most recent star of Popovich outside of Victor Wembanyama. Obviously, Wembanyama still has a long way to go. But Colin, the caliber of player that he coached, and he coached them hard too. We did our company, Good Karma Brands. Every first Friday, we do this thing called our Friday call, our 4th Friday call, and our CEO Craig Karmas had brought up a story about Popovich, and it hit home for me. He coached the hell out of Tim Duncan. Tony Parker, who recently got to the club in the early 2000s, he was bamboozled at how hard Popovich was coaching an already Hall of Famer and champion Tim Duncan. That's the kind of guy he was, Colin. He didn't care who the hell you were. He was going to coach you, and he was going to give you his 2 cents on what it took to win. It does not shock me that he's one of the greatest coaches of all times with that mentality.
Another thing he said during that is he said Popovich didn't even think he was a great coach. Popovich thought he was adaptable. And I think that was part of the reason why he was so good. He was adaptable. And the teams he coached were adaptable. It was one year, it was Tony Parker. I believe in 2007, that was his finals MVP to be had. Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan, David Robinson teams. Like, he has been as adaptable with the same core for the most part, as adaptable of a coach as there has ever been. And that is the testament of loyalty, consistency. The Spurs had a lot of years where they were flirting with greatness and they got burned a little bit. They won 40-1 at home the same year the Warriors went 73-9. They've had some great teams that amounted to nothing on top of the fact that he has 5 titles. It's a shame that he's walking away. He signed a 5-year extension in 2023, so he tells you that this is completely health-related.
Yes.
That this is completely, I can't do it anymore.
God, 76 years old.
He's going to stay with the club as the team president. But it just makes me think, in terms of like the dynasties, The Bulls, greatness. You know, the Lakers in the 80s, greatness. But in a lot of ways, a lot of these dynasties, they shift out of coaches. They shift out of players. They have bad losses here and there. The San Antonio Spurs were a Chris Bosh rebound from winning 2 in a row.
Yep.
And it makes you think that the fact that they were able to do it over a 15, 20-year period, I think it's one of the more, it's a dynasty. It's the most underrated dynasty, I think, in NBA history.
Here's the problem. Can I compare it to another league and another team? It's like the Patriots. The Patriots went on arguably 3 different dynasties and had 3 different championships in 3 different eras.
They are the Patriots, but not treated as such.
Right. And maybe it is because you had the likes of LeBron James come up. You had the Lakers with Phil Jackson, Kobe Bryant,
the basketball
and Shaq.
is defined by its dynasties.
And also, Colin, like, I'm not saying Tim Duncan is arguably a top 10 player, top 8 player of all time. The issue is guys like Shaq were more pulverizing. Guys like Kobe were more pulverizing. Like, I'm Kobe's biggest fan. You know what I mean? I think a lot of that has to do with the Mamba mentality and the way that he played. The Spurs quietly toiled away at the NBA. They did it with team basketball. They were the Warriors before the Warriors.
Yeah, he's got a little Bill Russell to him.
But you get
not the flashiest person in the world, but somebody who is the ultimate winner, the most reliable player on the floor.
You said he normalized ball movement and stuff. The Warriors normalized the 3-point shot and moving the ball around. The Spurs normalized teamwork. Unselfishness. A unit that where you're going to do things the Spurs way.
Yeah.
You've had Heat culture with Pat Riley the last couple of years. Well, what the hell are we calling the Spurs culture? Because that is the true culture that survived the testament of time for 3 decades with Greg Popovich.
Yeah, because you think about the Phil Jackson teams that were mostly dominated by that triangle offense, even with the Lakers. And then, you go back to the 80s and you get the Pat Riley Laker teams who were characterized by the fast break. The Celtics, too, the size, shooting, popularized that. Every team, every dynasty has their own thing. We know what the Warriors play like. They still play the same way. The 3-point barrage. The Spurs were the extra pass.
Yes.
The motion offense. Boris Diaw was somebody who I always think of when I think of the ultimate Spur. Weirdly enough, it's not Ginobili. I think it's Ginobili and Parker, of course. But Boris Diaw was somebody who would always fire the extra pass, always hit that crucial mid-range jumper, always somebody who played good defense, was the ultimate team player, could play him in any spot. That reminded me of a Spur.
Let me give you my Bruce Bowen, man.
Yeah.
Bruce Bowen, another one.
Tiago Splitter.
Oh, my God, dude. Remember him against LeBron in the Heat? Oh, Heat fans hated Tiago Splitter.
Right.
Oh,
and he had that great block against him.
Yeah, dude, that's nonetheless what I'm referring to. Is on the tip of my tongue, Kyle. That was, dude, those years. Dude, do you remember the game? The Heat game that I remember, I think it was the year they lost. I think it was year 3.
So 2014.
Year 4, maybe. LeBron's final year.
Yeah.
Remember the game where it was 100 degrees in San Antonio?
Is that when LeBron had to get carried out?
The AC gave out only in San Antonio.
Yeah.
I guarantee you some crazy fan, and listen, guys, I'm not reporting anything. I was in high school when this happened, but I guarantee you some crazy fan or Spurs
trying
person,
to have like the 80s Celtics moment.
Just completely wanted to take the advantage away and just made that thing into a sauna.
Yeah, and it worked
Yeah,
because LeBron.
dude.
That was a big knock on
Cramps,
LeBron.
cramps,
was he
dude,
got these
yes.
cramps, and the guy had to get carried off the floor. 280-pound man getting carried off the floor.
I couldn't. It came to the point of. Because, in 2007, Colin, they dismantled the Cavs.
It's a better team.
Yeah,
that was one of the better Spurs teams I've ever had.
Exactly, but I'm in 7th grade, 6th grade when that happened, so naturally you hate the Spurs. As I got older, they played beautiful basketball.
They did.
Oh, they played beautiful basketball. I think, Colin, out of all the players that Popovich had, the one that I'm going to remember the most is, and I might be in the wrong on this, but this is just how I feel. It's Kawhi Leonard, because Leonard was different than Duncan. He was different than the Admiral. He was different than Tony Parker. Colin, he was that modern day.
He was a perimeter star.
Yes, the modern day 2010-ish late 2010 star.
Point small forward. Yeah.
That Popovich was able to just mold into a hell of a basketball player.
Right.
Man. He molded Kawhi Leonard into a champion.
To the point of his play style, I agree. But in terms of his personality, he was as Spur as they come because he was just emotionless. And that was sort of what the Spurs vibe was, is you watch the Spurs and like they celebrated, but they didn't flaunt, they didn't taunt. They played. And I think that was a testament to Duncan especially because that was not Duncan's way of doing things. And I think it trickled down to everybody else. Ginobili had his moments. But Parker, all these players, they were get-it-done players. And you could say that a little bit with the Patriots, too. It's almost like a Belichick. He's reminiscent of Belichick a little bit.
That's why I compared it to the Pats earlier.
He's a little reminiscent of Belichick.
They
tight ship, old school, still works, affinity to the players. Yep. Players want to go play for him.
Yep.
Belichick, towards the tail end of his career, that wasn't the case. But that's a Bill Belichick comparison.
It is, and that's why early on, if we're going to compare sports, we're going to compare teams. It's the Spurs and it's the Patriots because they won in 3 different time eras. Now, if I had to pinpoint, and maybe this is taking it a bit too far, but I love baseball. I got to do it. Terry Francona. Francona won in the 07s. He won in the 10s. Should have won with the guards. It
bounced
didn't happen.
Bounced around more, but yes.
Definitely, but like a coach who survived the testament of time. Popovich survived the testament of time. Belichick did for the longest time. Francona has done that. These are all-time greats and have been able to relate to players. And I ultimately think, like, players, coaches, right? Belichick, I think the one that probably isn't a player coach is Belichick because Belichick just really did whatever the hell he wanted and it worked. But you heard it from Popovich in the conversation he had with our CEO of Good Karma Brands, Craig Karmazin. He didn't think he was a good coach. He was just relatable. He was able to mold himself into the players that he had and the current player that he had. Now, I think he's being a little modest because every role player, Colin, from Bruce Bowen to Boris Diaw to Robert Horry on down, if you were a Spur, it was for a reason because Popovich believed in you and he believed in you in a big spot. How many unspoken heroes unsung heroes came up for the Spurs during their runs? The Robert Horrys, the Bruce Bowens, the Boris Diaws. I'm sure there are plenty more as well that I'm forgetting about. That's why these guys are such good coaches. And remember Belichick. With him, it was like he never had a good receiver. You know what I mean? It was always like a Julian Edelman type. It was Brady elevating the players around him. That's what you respect.
Yeah, and the thing about the Spurs, too, is it's almost forgotten about because of just how poor they've been the last couple of years. But that has been a team that has been as consistent as anybody has ever been in the history of basketball because they made the postseason every year of Popovich's career until the last, 5 or so years. They haven't been able to get anything going. That was it. They made the postseason every single year.
You know when it's time, though.
You know when it's time.
You know when it's time.
And it's a shame because you wanted to see him sort of have his final moment. And it kind of ended on a whim like that. But Popovich is somebody who, in my opinion, he's outspoken. He's a trailblazer in that regard. Steve Kerr takes a lot from him in terms of, he speaks on social issues. He speaks on political issues. He's active, the whole thing. But in terms of what he brought to basketball, he defied everything that we know about NBA coaches because NBA coaches, if you're great, you're axed. If you have a bad year or two, you're axed. You're gone. Championship doesn't matter. Hall of Fame player doesn't matter. Players like you doesn't matter. Short leash. Popovich was somebody that he was so old school, hadn't left in 30 years. I don't know if we'll ever, outside of Spoelstra.
I was about to say, Spo is like the last one I could possibly
He's the last
think.
one that's Kerr. Kerr will never leave. Kerr will never leave the
but he's on the back.
Steve Kerr?
I don't know if he's going to coach into his 70s.
Yeah, right. I agree. I don't think he needs it enough. But in terms of the coaches that can get away with murder, it was Popovich. It was Spoelstra. You thought it was Mike Malone. Guess we're wrong on that.
Correct.
It's Spoelstra, it's Popovich, and it's Kerr. Mm-hmm. That is it.
Yeah. As of in the current landscape of the NBA, I agree. And
that is it.
One more thing on Pop from me. Kali continued to coach after the dynasty. Like, obviously, when Kawhi Leonard left.
Yeah, he embraced the rebuild.
Yeah.
He never necessarily tried to completely rebuild.
Right.
But
now
they went and tried to they tried the DeRozan experiment. They tried the LaMarcus Aldridge experiment post-Kawhi. never really they never could replace Duncan. That was the bottom line.
Look what he's leaving behind. Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox, and the Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle. Now,
good job.
Kyle, this was a terrible rookie class. I know. Listen, I like Castle as much as you being a UConn fan. But at the same time, those are 3 great young players you could build around. Even solid dual players like Keldon Johnson and company. I don't think that's a team, Colin, when Wembanyama is healthy, that would have been in the playoffs and would have given all these Western Conference teams fits. Don't you think the Spurs at a healthy level would have given – I mean, the Lakers just lost in 5 games to the 6th seed. Forgive me for thinking that Wembanyama and the Spurs would have made some noise this year.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say, too, if I had to make a prediction right now, that Spur job is going to Mike Malone. Unless the Knicks open up, that job's going to Mike Malone. I would pencil that in tomorrow.
The guy that was there, help me out. Who is
are they going to take him over? Did they announce that?
I'm asking. I
didn't see that.
Yeah, I'm asking.
The repeat guy, what's his name? I'd have to find that out. Because my brother met him at the Final Four.
Yeah.
He told me about him. I'll double check that in the break. But I think it might be, Mitch Johnson. That's his name. Johnson. Okay. Mitch Johnson. And it sounds like he's going to be the new head coach. I was wrong on that.
Yeah.
Good on me for checking. I thought that Mike Malone was going to get that job. Wow. So they hired internally there. Classic Spurs.
Yeah.
That's what they did with Popovich.
I thought I saw something like that. I wasn't sure, but Kyle, at the same time, I think you convinced me. I think Mike Malone was the guy.
Yeah, too bad. Unless they really like Mitch Johnson. Maybe Mitch Johnson's very good. I would have went and got after Malone.
Maybe he's going to be there for the next 40 years.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know. And I'm pretty sure Malone and Popovich have a good relationship. Maybe I'm wrong on that. All right, back to the Knick job it is.
Hey, Thibodeau's got to lose it
Thank
first.
God we didn't false report. I didn't see that they announced Mitch Johnson as the new guy.
And hey, that game, Kyle, that game last night, it seems, what do you mean Knick fans drinking the Kool-Aid? They're going to beat the Celtics next round.
I got to give Brunson credit.
Sorry, turn your mic on. He had 40 points in the go-ahead
I got to give Brunson
three-pointer.
credit. I got to give Brunson credit.
Dude, he was
and
unreal.
I'll tell you another thing. Cade Cunningham can't close a door when it matters. Oh, my God.
Dude,
Can they not close a game? I understand. They can't close it. Every game it was like this. Every game
I don't blame him.
Pistons
hang on. You want to know who I blame? Who do you think I blame?
Bickerstaff?
Yeah, dude. He can't go. He's such a good...
The thing is, they drew up a great play to get Malik Beasley a good look. And he
had a good game. He had 20 points in the game.
That was a great play.
All I'm saying is, look at what JB did for the Pistons this year. Fair play to Bickerstaff, because they won 14 games with more or less the same team last year, and they quadrupled their win total this year. And
they did it without Jaden Ivey playing.
And played the Knicks, a team who's been in the playoffs the last couple of years, has experience down to the wire. Colin, I just don't think JB is the coach to get you to the next level.
Now you can't.
But the Pistons aren't there yet.
Yeah, we're on the same page there. That he's a floor raiser. He's not necessarily the next step guy.
I blame the coach there.
But you're not going to get. The thing is, I can't blame him for anything because it's a very successful season. That's it, right?
It is.
This is a win. Write home about this. This is it.
It is. But the reason he's not in the wine and gold anymore is because for moments like this.
Yeah. Eventually, you're going to need to find your Kenny Atkinson and move on from your JB Bickerstaff.
The Knicks were begging to lose this game last night. They had a miserable fourth quarter. They got outscored by 10 points in the fourth quarter.
They couldn't score.
But
I give Brunson all the credit in the world because Brunson, I swear, what a play. With Thompson draped all over him to get that the go-ahead three right there from the top of the key. And I give the Pistons credit, too. They drew up a good play. But it's every game. They just haven't learned how to win yet. And that's a true skill in the NBA. Learn how to lose before you can figure out how to win.
Bridges and Kyle. Bridges played 44 minutes.
Yeah, he played great, too.
Anunoby played 44 minutes.
Bridges played a good game.
My God. They had 6 bench points.
Get used to that.
Colin.
See how that works when the second 5 from the Celtics come in and they could start on a middling NBA team.
Them and the Lakers do not believe in a bench.
It's Thibodeau. And they don't have a bench, but that's Thibodeau through and through. Knicks win, beat Pistons in Game 6. They move on to the next round. We'll take on the Boston Celtics. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. We'll loop in Christian Cat a little bit next, do a little 5 at 5. Stick around for it right here on ESPN 106.3.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Attention Marlins fans. History is being made at Lone Depot Park. The all-new Marlin City Connection Collection debuts Saturday, May 3rd, when your fish take on the Athletics. These exclusive uniforms represent Miami's vibrant culture like never before. Be among the first to see your Marlins wearing these vibrant threads. And get your hands on limited edition City Connect gear. Secure your seats now at marlins.com/tickets and be part of Marlins history.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Mansour's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Mansour's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
ESPN 1063 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet. Home of the Miami Heat, now the new home of Inter Miami. Catch all the games and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 1063. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not win. Hard Rock Bet, roll with us. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling, call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Clinton and Friends hits the air weekdays, 10 a.m.
I told you guys that I went to the LAFC game when Messi was here. I got an email that was like, yo, heard you were at the game. Do you want to come on ESPN West Palm Beach? I was like, yeah, sure. I was handling my son, KJ, who is barely 5 months old. How am I going to keep him quiet? My son is my son, and he's a yapper. He likes to talk, and I told Mike Rizzo, my son's going to be here. If he chooses to talk, we're just going to have to deal with it. KJ didn't say a word. The force is strong within that one.
Clinton and Friends, weekdays at 10 on ESPN 1063.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! By Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat. Streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter /X at ESPN West Palm. Also on your radio dial at ESPN 106.3. We're from the City Place Studios on a May 2nd, 2025 edition of the program. A beautiful Friday afternoon right here in South Florida, West Palm Beach. You got a couple games, 7s on the horizon. Looking forward to that. See if the Rockets can force one tonight. You got the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Clippers. That's going to be a Saturday game, I believe. Yes, 7:30 p.m. on Saturday. Game 7 on that front. So you're going to have some action, and because of that, you might as well have a little fun. Sprinkle some action over on Hard Rock Bet. Go utilize some futures, put together a parlay, utilize the point totals, player props, overs, unders, first half, live, you name it. Luke Littler won the Premier League last night in darts.
18 years old.
Christian Cat had Van Gerwen.
Yeah, Michael Van Gerwen, man. He's kind of losing some gas in the tank. I'm worried for my goat.
Washed. But Luke Littler's coming to the 19-year-old won the Premier League.
18.
I had that bet. 18-year-old. I had that bet on Hard Rock Bet. Go get started today. Go download the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store. Go to hardrock.bet online to get started. Hard Rock's the best because if you're an experienced player, it caters to you. But also, if you're the brand new player, it's easy to get acclimated, easy to get accommodated. You get started now, you get up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not hit. That first bet can be a parlay, prop, over, whatever you like to bet in a game you choose. Win that first one to get the same amount you bet back as a bonus bet. Hard Rock Bet, offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus. Physically present in Florida. The wager, terms and conditions apply. Considered by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Christian, our producer for today's program, behind the glass at the City Place Studios. What do you got for us today?
Man, I'm sick for Michael Van Gerwen. I'm even sicker for myself because I placed that bet on Hard Rock Bet, and I thought it would be easy to VPN my way around to watch it live. I couldn't.
So it's not available in the United States at all?
No, it's not. I had to maybe purchase Sky Sports or something out there.
Talk Sport.
What's that? The
radio
station?
That's the radio.
Yeah,
You want a radio call of a darts game?
Listen, we all love radio.
Are you kidding
here.
me? Yeah. What do you mean? What do you?
No, I understand, but it's a darts game. I don't know. I guess it is pretty easy to say what's going on, but.
Yeah, but you got to see it. You got to see the environment
I would agree.
in that moment, and I just wasn't able to watch it live, unfortunately. So that's what's going on with me.
I took Luke Littler there. You burned yourself there. You gave me the right avenue.
And Christian golfed today, though, too.
Yeah, sure did. Played at the club at Lost Lake in Hobe Sound. Had a great time, but you talked about those sporadic, random South Florida showers smacking you in the face.
Oh, it hit you too. Yeah, yes. I was right south of there. I biked through Hobe Sound, and I got pounded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That makes two of us. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
so
that was like a category 2 for 10 minutes. Did you get that as well?
Sure did. And just kind of parked for a little bit, had a foursome behind us who thankfully they also paused. So we were both in it to wait and eventually got to finish up the round of 18. Good time. We had some good content actually coming up out of that golf outing on the YouTube channel for Palm Beach. So subscribe there to see what we were up to. A fun challenge that involved marshmallows. That's
nice.
My tease for you.
I want to see Christian stripe a drive.
Can you imagine biking in that environment?
I couldn't. I would never.
It was not fun.
How about that though? You did not. I expected you to tune. To say something when he was going through that biking. Doesn't that sound miserable?
Yes.
Does that not sound like the worst thing?
I was talking to our intern back here, and when you describe what a Ironman is, it sounds like what someone who's trying to escape the country that's being invaded. That's what they do. They've got to swim through the ravine.
The Alcatraz guys? Yeah.
Yes, that's what it sounds
then
like.
Then they get on a bike.
Like
and
they are searching for political, what is it?
Asylum.
Asylum. That's what it sounds like you're doing, but you're paying to do it. You're paying to get there.
Paying to travel there, yes. Paying to stay there.
It sounds awful. And what do you have to show for it? A number on your chest.
And a medal.
Maybe a medal and a T-shirt.
And hang on. And Christian, out $5,000 from the plane tickets, the whole 9 yards.
Not $5,000.
It's a lot, isn't it? As you're counting in your head.
It's not $5,000, but
how much is the race?
Yeah, the hospital.
How much is
the
it?
race is like $350.
All right, so to qualify for the race, you got to give $350. I spent
about $300 on the plane ticket. $350 on the plane tickets. So, yeah.
Well, you're going to spend $2,000 on a bike.
I definitely have spent over, I would say, in the realm of $1,200 to $1,500.
When his bike gives out in the final test run, he's going to have to spend $2,000 at a local bike store in Boulder.
Mike, I will build that bike back up again if I have to. That is
you're going to visit your bike guy?
My bike. I'm going to get a bike guy in Boulder. Go ahead.
I think I'm going to start going to like Goodwills and flea markets and thrift stores and just buy shirts that you get at Ironman's and Tough Mudders
and wear the same thing
and just wear it.
Like, you did one too.
I was there.
You did one too?
Exactly. That's my hobby, is just lying about doing Ironmans.
The thing is, the half says 70.3, which is known as like, you get a half marathon shirt. What's the point of a half marathon shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Similar.
It's not a flex.
Similar situation. I'm not using it as a flex. If you work for it, you want the full one.
Christian, I am more interested to see how he is going to be able to take off week 1 of the NFL season.
Well, I haven't cleared that yet, so we're gonna have to. It's not going to be 1 week. The thing
put
is,
it
I'm
this
not
way.
acclimating that.
Christian,
if it's in Madison, I could go out to Madison the morning of Friday.
Let me tell my story. So, C-Cat, you're a proud Big Ten man like myself. The Buckeyes are playing at Wisconsin this year, and I thought it'd be a great idea, great show content for Colin and I to do our show live from Wisconsin for the final 2 days that week. Go to a Badger game, maybe poke face with Steve Politziner. Maybe he comes and joins us. I thought we could turn this into a whole cool thing. And our general manager, she basically shut it down. So I am looking forward to seeing Colin.
Mike went after this. Mike went after this wrong. He came in with no plan. He decided to announce what we were going to do without asking what we were going to do. He didn't even come in with a logistics side. There was none of that. It was Mike was... Colin, October 18th, Madison, you in? We could go the whole weekend, the whole thing. So she called fire from hearing that. If Mike went at it a little savvier, I think Mike would have gotten a better reaction.
I can't wait for him to tell Stephanie he's going to be gone for 3 days during week 1 of the NFL season.
No, it's going to be, I will go out Friday. I could work out of Madison Friday. Somebody will have to take over the duties of ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, which you can listen to next. But other than that, and I can't do Sunday Huddle, because it's going to be during the race.
I got you,
Other than that,
bro.
I should be fine.
I got you, bro.
The problem is, you're done with it, and then you got to travel back the next morning? You're not going to be able to move, What are you going to go sit on? What are you going to go travel on a plane? After traveling 140 miles in a 12-hour period?
Yeah, because then you have the conversation started with everyone around you. Oh, why are you icing your thigh? Well, if you didn't hear.
Hey, man.
Where am I going to get an ice pack on a plane?
Hey, man. You got something in your shorts. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, dude. That's just ice. I thought you were
talking about the bowel movements problem.
Yeah. How about that one, though? That's something. All right. I'm on to something there.
It's well broadcasted on national television how these marathon runners just let it happen and say, "Don't record me, please, because I just did it in my pants."
That
happens. That is a normal thing.
They have porta potties all over the place.
So
let's make that clear.
Can I be honest?
Porta potties all over the place.
So, Christian, you're telling me they just soil themselves?
Yes.
That happens in long distance running.
Because they can't sacrifice the time.
They poop their pants.
They can't sacrifice the time.
Every which way you put it, that's what happens.
That is the most
marathons, Ironmans. The people who try to place and are trying to qualify for something, yes. People qualify for the Boston Marathon. That's a huge one. You got to run a 2-hour and 55-minute marathon.
So
which is like a 7-minute pace. So if you you don't have time to kill. You got to go. So some people, if it comes up and I want to qualify for the Boston Marathon, I'm going.
Colin, if you're going to do it, make sure it's in the water. That's where to do it.
I'm in a wetsuit.
Oh, that'd be awful.
Mike, I'm in a wetsuit.
Never mind.
I'm in a wetsuit.
Never mind. I forgot about your wetsuit. I don't know how, because you showed everyone in the office.
Right.
Christian, I got a real problem with people soiling themselves in a marathon. That is beyond disgusting.
Are you
inhumane.
Sabotage competitors? I don't know, let some air out of their bike tire before you get on?
Absolutely not.
They have bike mechanics there. But, apparently the big thing, from what I've heard, I've talked to
Christian, you cheat. You'd cheat.
Yeah,
you'd
he's
go
a phony.
Belichick.
He's a phony.
You'd go. Hang on, Christian.
Dude, he would totally.
Christian,
cheat.
you'd go Belichick and deflate the football.
Spending $3,000 on this trip for Ironman.
It's not $3,000.
You're spending over $1,000.
Both might be close.
For the 15th time, Colin is not trying to place. He's just trying to cross the finish.
When you tear both your quads, then the hospital bill gets you above $3,000.
Right.
I want to have a medal that is something I can be proud of, other than that just says finisher. That's what I'm saying, which I would never do this.
There's hundreds of people doing it. How are you going to sabotage hundreds of people?
The drinking water.
Oh, God.
You've thought about this. That was quick.
That was way too quick.
Thought about this.
I was about to say, that was way too
You're
quick.
gonna, what's the word? You're gonna spike with laxatives or something? That's not gonna matter.
You're gonna go.
That's not gonna matter.
Hang on. He's gonna go wedding crashers and eye drops into the water.
Yeah, Colin, if you have a change of heart, you've got my number. Pay for my flight, and we'll talk.
Well, then you're gonna have to get off of work. I'm gonna be the only one working week 1 of the NFL season.
Well, yeah.
I can fly back. I can take the
half is on a Saturday,
I'm
but the
gonna
full's
be.
on a Sunday.
Theo Dorsey and I are gonna be. We're gonna have to go to 15 high school games that week.
There has to have been a case of this, though, in these long distance endurance events where someone did something nefarious.
Dude, that is going to, like, I don't even know what they would charge you with, but it would be bad. It'd be like a distress, a danger to the public.
Yeah, poisoning drinking water probably is not permissible.
It's a chemical warfare.
I mean, that's like 10 years in the clink.
That's more. That's like,
it's like 10. That's like 10 years.
You want to be great?
You still want to do it?
The price to pay to be great.
Right. When you're the only one crossing the finish line, who do you think their suspect number one is going to be?
Guys,
I don't know. My water was fine.
I got to be honest again here. I cannot believe. I did not know that people poop their pants. Like
only the ultra competitive.
I rather just not eat.
Yeah, it's a little vanity too. They want to look like tryhards.
It's only the ultra competitive.
So you poop your pants? Imagine that rash, because you're just friggin', roaming around.
Right? No, yeah, we're picking up with. Yeah, we got it.
It's disgusting, inhumane. That is inhumane. Cavemen weren't even doing that.
They might have been, but I understand.
Yeah, I think they might have been the only ones who were.
I understand getting it.
But you get the point. Like, cavemen had more decency to not just.
Do we need the sound effect, Mike?
You do.
Do we need the sound effect?
You did, because it's disgusting.
It's getting hotter in Florida. It's getting much warmer, and it's time for us to make sure that our air conditioning and HVAC units are up to speed. John C. Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing are the type to serve for you. They've been proudly serving Palm Beach County since 1960, keeping homes cool and comfortable. Get one of their highly trained technicians out to your home and perform a diagnostic check, troubleshoot on your system. It doesn't even matter what brand, age it is. They can just make sure that everything's up to speed. Or if you need an upgrade, they're the ones to tell you. If you don't, they'll be honest and tell you, hey, this thing's in good shape. And did you know that 90% of system breakdowns in your homes on units that are less than 10 years old, they could have been totally prevented. All you got to do is make sure that technicians are making sure they're running the checks, they're running the diagnostics, making sure that these things are running capably. That's CassidyAC.com to get more information and go get involved. Go make sure before the summer months, before it starts getting really sticky here in South Florida and really humid, make sure John C. Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing takes care of your units in your home. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat, Little 5 at 5 on the flip side. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Breaking news from Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. No tariffs on all new Kias. Put your tax refund to work today. That's right. While others talk tariffs, Greenway Kia gives you unbeatable deals. Tariff-free. Turn your tax refund into your dream ride now. Like a 2024 Kia Telluride starting at just $38,998. That's thousands less than the competition. Plus 0% financing available on select models and tariff-free pre-owned vehicles ready to roll. Got a trade? Push it, pull it, drag it. Any make, any miles, any condition. We'll take it. Got a job making $350 a week? Our lenders want to approve you. Put your tax refund to good use. Drive away tariff-free today at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or visit GreenwayKiaWestPalmBeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval terms, plus tax tag and $9.99 admin fee. Negative equity refinanced. Offers don't combine.
This Mother's Day, give Mom a gift with endless possibilities. Give her a gift card to the Breakers Palm Beach. The Breakers gift card lets you treat Mom to all the things she loves, like irresistible oceanfront getaways, lessons at the Breakers' new golf and racket club, pampering at the exquisite spa, and shopping at the resort's stylish collection of boutiques. Gift cards may also be used for dining at the Breakers' renowned restaurants and bars, including Echo, Henry's Palm Beach, HMF, and Flagler Steakhouse. And now, for a limited time, When you purchase a $500 gift card online at thebreakers.com, you'll receive an additional $50 on that card, compliments of the Breakers. You can never repay Mom for all she's done, but a gift card to the Breakers Palm Beach is a great way to start. Visit thebreakers.com today.
Mike Rizzo here with the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. When you think of big-time college football conferences, you're thinking of the SEC and you're thinking of the Big Ten. The SEC dominated with the likes of Alabama and Nick Saban for years. Kirby Smart and Georgia two-peated. The last two national championships reside in the Big Ten with the Buckeyes and the Wolverines. The ACC, the Big 12, they're kind of nipping at the feet a little bit of the two conferences, but believe it or not, the Pac-12 is still around. It consists of Washington State and Oregon State, and they just completed a 13-package TV deal that'll be spread across the CW, CBS, and ESPN. Can the Pac-12 come back? This is the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. Accelerate your career in sports with the program committed to developing top-notch executives and managers with a focus on the job placement for students and graduates. The FAU MBA in Sport Management Program.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
May the force be with you, baseball fans! Take a trip to the Rebel Base Clover Park for the St. Lucie Mets annual Star Wars night. Coming Saturday, May 10th, the Mets will take on the Evil Empire Clearwater Threshers in a battle to control the galaxy known as the Florida State League. The Mets will wear their special Star Wars-themed jerseys, and there will be other Star Wars-themed entertainment through the game. Enjoy appearances from Star Wars characters and the best fireworks show in the galaxy after the game. That's Star Wars night on Saturday, May 10th at Clover Park.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Didn't get to it, but since Christian wants to poison the water supply of a local triathlon, we got a little sidetracked.
Not local. Not local. I would never hurt the people of the Treasure Coast in Palm Beach County.
Colorado's all fair game?
Yeah.
Madison, Wisconsin?
We have teammates up there.
There's an ESPN Madison.
Jury's out.
It's where Colin went to. We went to school. He used to work for ESPN Madison. He did pregame.
Thoughts?
Colorado decriminalized everything under the earth when it comes to drugs and stuff.
So you think you'd get away with it? This is more of a getting away with it thing. All right. Christian, Cat, Colin, Russo, Mike Rizzo, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3, streaming live from the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. If you missed any of the program today, go listen back on Russo and Rizzo at Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. Christian, let's have a little fun here. Let's jump around. Let's do a little 5 and 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking Big Ten.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU Athletics. Earn up to $700 per year with boost checking from Flagler Credit Union. Number 1.
Well, the big news in the NBA today, Greg Popovich, Coach Pop, no longer the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. He will go to be the team's president of basketball operations. So many ridiculous stats to put into perspective how big of an impact Pop had not on only the Spurs, but on the NBA. But a couple of them come to mind. There have been 303 coaching changes in the NBA since Pop took the Spurs job. He also is the regular season leader with 1,422 regular season victories, 5 championships, 3-time NBA Coach of the Year winner. is Coach Pop the best coach in NBA history?
I'd lean Phil Jackson because of the dominance, but I think what Popovich provides to the NBA is almost invaluable because he did it with the same team, small market. It's not like you're coaching the Bulls and the Lakers. Coaching the San Antonio Spurs. A team that was actually pretty good before he got there. And has always been a good franchise, a well-run organization, but it's still San Antonio compared to the Los Angeles. I don't know if he's the best coach of all time, but he's top 2, top 3, easy.
I think I'm with you. Probably Phil Jackson because of the championship thing. Like, I told you, like, even when we were talking about GOAT players, like, it's Michael probably because of the championships. I'm biased in the sense of LeBron, but if we're going pure championships, probably Phil Jackson. But I want to reiterate what I said in hour number 1. The Spurs are like the Patriots in the sense of 3 different time eras, 3 different dynasties, right? The Patriots had like 3 different dynasties. The Spurs had like 3 different dynasties in the 90s to 2000s and the 2010s. I don't think there will ever be a coach like Popovich to stick around that long at a single spot. We mentioned Eric Spoelstra earlier. We mentioned that Steve Kerr's kind of doing the same thing with Golden State. But I think Popovich is one of one, and I think he is the second greatest coach of all time, probably behind Phil Jackson.
Number 2.
Did you hear about this out of Los Angeles? The Angels are placing star outfielder Mike Trout on the 10-day injured list with a bone bruise in his left knee. I'm not talking about small picture, I'm talking about big picture. Because when Mike Trout and Bryce Harper both entered Major League Baseball in the same year, their careers were forever compared as parallels. Right now, who's had a better career? Mike Trout, Bryce Harper.
Well, Kyle, I'm going to lead off here because if you want to talk about playoff success, I mean, Harper never won a World Series.
Trout's going to be viewed as a better player all time, but I think I'd rather have Harper's career. That would be my takeaway.
I think Trout has the statistics, maybe outside of home runs and power. Christian, you'd have to double check me on that. But everything else, Trout, probably the better player.
He's not going to have the aggregate statistics by the end of his career comparatively, but his top end,
yeah,
at his best. Trout, you could make an argument that Trout's best year of his career was his rookie year. It was his second year.
It's tough because
Harper revitalized his career with the Phillies. Like,
how about him leaving Washington,
right,
and then them winning a championship though? That had to sting a little bit. That had to sting.
I think
and Juan Soto becoming like, you know.
So yeah, that's the question then instead. Whose career would you rather have?
I'd rather have Bryce Harper's. Just because you've been in the playoffs, you've played in big games.
And the thing is, he's proved himself in the postseason. And that was the big stigma about him is that, all right, your team just did it. Show us something.
Yes.
And he took a little bit to get going, and now Bryce Harper's been a great player for them.
Christian, Harper could easily still win a World Series with that Phillies team. I know not this year, 17 and 14, they're 3 games over 500. They're going to make the playoffs, though. Their pitching staff will turn it around. The big picture point, Harper could still win a World Series. Trout will not because he's stuck in Anaheim with a rebuild that's probably going to last another 3 years.
And I don't feel bad for him because he chose that.
Yeah.
He chose all of that. He could easily be playing with a contender if he prioritized that. He retired halfway through his career.
Look what Ohtani did, right?
Trout,
Ohtani left, and granted, he joined the new Imperial Empire in the Dodgers, but he left.
Here's the problem. Trout's career is going to be, by the time he's done, he's going to be a what-if. Harper's not going to be. That's why you take Harper.
And now, what if, based on Trout's recent semi-injury problems, or what if he cared about winning and went to a bigger market team?
But who's to say that he would have been healthy? That's the problem.
Yeah.
His health triumphs all of this. He hasn't been healthy in 5 years. That is the bottom line. If he went and decided to leave Los Angeles, maybe he goes to a better team. He doesn't need to play as much. Maybe a better medical staff. Maybe better luck. Whatever it is. Trout's career is going to be plagued by his inability to stay healthy. He is going to be a what-if because of his injuries, not because of his level of play. That's the problem. So, he could have went somewhere else and been great, but if he's not healthy, what's the point?
So, it's eerie because you told me he just went on the IL. Last year, he played 29 games. This year, you want to guess how many games he's played?
It's a 10-day IL, but yeah.
But 29 games.
Wow.
And then the year before, in 2023, he played 82 games. 36 in 2021, 53 in 2020. These injuries started popping up 2020 and onward. He's played one 100-game year, and that was in 2022 when he played 119. Colin's right. Injuries is going to define Mike Trout. He might be the Marcus Dupree. Granted, he was pretty healthy from 2011 to about 2019 for about 8 years. He played a lot, but gosh, man, for the back end of your career, arguably in your prime, to be stuck on that team too, that team is L6 right now. They were 500 at 12-12, and now they're 12-18. It's what they do. The Angels start out hotter than a blowtorch, and then they lose like 40 of their last 50 before the All-Star break. It's crazy.
Number 3.
The Knicks are moving on to the second round to face the Boston Celtics after Jalen Brunson's 40-point performance. How about that go-ahead crossover step-back three-pointer for the win? Can the Knicks actually give a scare to the Celtics?
No. What do you think that series is right now? What is your gut telling you? I would say that's a
6.
Lucky if they're 6.
I think 6. The only reason I'm entertaining 6 games is because the injury effect with Boston. Like, I know Tatum came back, played well, but I think there's something there, Colin, with the injuries with Boston. Call it my blind faith and blind allegiance to hopefully the Cavs doing something and going to the finals, but I think that this could go 6. Knicks are physical. I'll give them that. The Celtics are a truly three-point shooting, ball movement, kind of copy and paste Golden State Warrior offense on steroids with the amount of threes that they shoot. I think New York will run them off the line to some degree. That's why I think this thing will go 6. But Colin, if I'm going to sit here and say the Celtics are hurt, I also think that New York's going to run out of gas. I mentioned to you, Bridges played 44. Anunoby played 44. Brunson played 42.
If somebody twists an ankle, there's no backup.
There's no backup, but at the same time, those players have been playing 40 minutes for 2 weeks straight now. I don't know how sustainable that is.
Right. I agree. Number 2, 3, 4.
Well, before we move on, what would you guess is the series price on Hard Rock Bet right now
to win the series
for Celtics and Knicks? Yeah, just to win it outright, doesn't matter how many games.
Minus 500?
It is minus 800 for the Celtics, plus 500 for the Knicks.
Wow. Plus 500.
I mean, maybe
I wouldn't touch the Knicks with that.
No,
I wouldn't touch the
either.
Knicks with that. You don't get enough value there. Would you?
No.
Vegas knows, as we know. I'm starting to think Boston in 5 after that, after hearing those odds. I mean, I know Vegas isn't always correct. We can't take it
the
for
Knicks
the end
just
all
can't.
be
They
all.
haven't beaten them all year. I have a hard time seeing them doing it in the postseason now.
Plus 500.
Hey, if you want to bet exact series result, Celtics in 5, plus 220. Celtics sweep, plus 240.
That's a better.
What's
that's
more
better.
likely?
That's
What's
better
more
value.
likely, the sweep or 6 games, like I said? If you had to put your money on, what's 6?
If I had to
Give
put
me
money
6,
somewhere,
Christian.
I would say 6.
Give me 6. What's 6?
Celtics in 6 is plus 475.
That's better value.
I'd probably do that.
Yeah, win the home game.
I'd probably do that.
Steal a game in a closeout
But you
where the
guys get
Celtics
what-
are down by 10 and they kind of punt like Steve Kerr did.
I love that terminology, punt. You get what I'm saying, though, with the physicality and the defense, though. Like, I think Thibodeau could... I think that'll bother them to an extent. I just think that Tatum and Brown, too much quality, too deep of a bench, too. That Pritchard's going to come in and probably score 20 a couple of games.
Yeah. Number 5, 4.
Number 5.
Colin never knows that. I'm going to start telling them to write down the number.
You
so
don't
they'll
either.
remember.
It's number 4.
Number 4.
Hang on.
Oh, he's fine.
We'll hit that when there's no music playing. You can't hear it that way. But the Clippers, they force a Game 7 after a home win against Denver last night. Claw and Harden were possessed, combining for, I believe, 54 points. Heading into the game, Denver won the last 2 in the series. They were red hot. Of course, you remember that buzzer-beating dunk by Gordon. Who has the momentum heading into the Game 7 this weekend?
This is tricky. Denver's home court. They've won 2 of the last 3. I would say that's Denver's game. Unfortunately, I think the Clippers are a better team, but I think that's Denver's game to lose. I'm going to root for the Clippers there because I think they'd give OKC a better shot. And I think they put together a better team. But if Jokic and Murray get on, this is going to be a very, very tough team to beat. If Murray's going to come out and have, and this is what he does. He lives for these type of games. A 38-point performance and then Jokic, 28, 18, and 7. That would be very problematic for the Clippers.
Remind me what happened with Denver and Minnesota last year. Was that 6 or 7?
That was 7. And that's when they got destroyed in Game 6 by like 60 points, and Jokic was standing on the baseline watching the entire fourth quarter, and then they went out and lost Game 7.
I don't want to say it's reminiscent of that, but for some reason I like the Clippers. The Clippers have the better closer, and his name is Kawhi Leonard. With all due respect to Jamal Murray, who's been brilliant in at least 3 of these games, and I'm so happy that we have a Game 7. Like, I was really worried about the first-round matchups when they first came out.
And I don't think Houston's going to force one.
No, I'm with you on that. But I think for some reason I'm leaning Ty Lue and Kawhi Leonard.
Doesn't it just kind of feel like Denver's obviously been there, and they're going to show us who they really are back against the wall, season on the line, feels like life on the line. The Clippers haven't been pushed to this spot like that.
Leonard and Harden are playoff tested.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got Ty Lue there as well. They got a brand new coach. Keep that in mind.
And Van Gundy's completely changed the defensive end of that team.
Think about that with the Abelman, whatever the interim coach for the Nuggets is. There's the inexperience. Are they going to make adjustments? Are they going to make proper? Is Jokic going to get enough out of his supporting cast? I don't know if Jamal Murray and Jokic combining for 60 is going to do it. They need more than that.
I've been pounding that Clippers drum all series, but right now I'm looking at the odds of the game. Winner take all, Game 7, almost a pick 'em. Nuggets minus 115. I would never bet the Clippers in this game. Like, it just feels like if you're going to bet in this game, it's Nuggets or nothing.
Risky. It's risky.
Very much so. And you were on the wrong end of Denver. What was it, 2 games ago?
Yeah, I think 3 games in the series.
I took Denver and you took the Clippers in that. And Let's Go Streaking, presented by our good friends at Hard Rock Bet.
Yeah, very tricky. I don't know how I handle that. That's a very if I had to, I'm going to root. See, the thing is, I don't. What I think is going to happen is I think Denver's going to win. Really enough, and I want the Clippers to win.
Same here.
I'll go Clips then. You're all taking the Nuggets. I'll go Clips.
Number 5.
Pop the confetti. Pop the bottles. National Space Day, gents.
Yeah, my favorite.
What is your favorite movie about space?
You know, I was dying for this.
I thought you said space. All right, so space movies?
Yes.
Yeah, outer space.
Set in space, in the grand world.
Interstellar's great. Interstellar's an all-time great space movie.
Wrong.
You know what's wildly overrated is Gravity. Remember that movie with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney? Mm-hmm. That movie stinks.
More of a Martian guy?
The Martian is a good movie. I guess we count that as space.
I still haven't heard it.
You're going to say Space Jam?
No, he wants everybody to say Star Wars in unison.
Thank you.
The problem with let's ruffle Mike's feathers. Here's the problem with Star Wars.
What's the problem with Star Wars?
And I haven't watched Andor yet.
It's good.
And I don't know if you...
hang on. First 3 episodes were slow. Last 3 just
I don't think you're going to disagree with me, unfortunately. Star Wars has more bad than good.
I disagree because I think Clone Wars, Rebels, and the 6 movies are unbelievable. But to your point, everything after Mandalorian Season 2 is terrible.
I wouldn't even say the opening 6. I wouldn't even say the opening 6 for me. I think the first 3 and Revenge of the Sith, which just came back out in the theaters. I think those are good movies.
Fair enough.
You're high on the first 2 prequels. I'm not. So
you got and to set the stage quickly. My dad got my brother and I into Star Wars in the 90s, Christian. So, I'm 5 years old in theaters watching Phantom Menace. I'm in 4th grade watching
nostalgic.
Revenge of the Sith.
It's nostalgic.
Yes, but those are my Star Wars movies I grew up with. They are my favorite. But to Colin's point, I will agree with him. We could split hairs about 1 through 6, but the consensuous feeling with the fandom, 1 through 6 is amazing. Clone Wars, Rebels, the animated stuff, great. Mandalorian Season 1 and 2, unbelievable with Jon Favreau before Kathleen Kennedy started getting her paws in it.
Who's walking away, by the way. Apollo 13 is another very good one. What else do I count? I'm looking at these right here. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Have you ever seen that?
No, that's the one with the match cut they taught me in films class in college.
All right.
How they throw a monkey throws a bone, right?
Right.
Or no, it's the other way around. It catches the bone, I don't know.
In the opening scene?
Something like
Yes.
that.
Well, the thing about it's a special type of movie because it's very, very long.
What's the ones?
Go ahead.
What are the movies with Matt Damon?
The Martian.
You didn't like that?
I like that movie.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
How about,
I thought that was pretty
Did
good.
you ever see Alien?
Yes, I love the
Alien.
movies.
Alien, the
They
first
kick
one
butt. They kick
is
butt.
great.
And it's scary.
You ever
Dude,
watch-
that 80s scary movie
The
has
first one. The second one, Aliens, I don't think is that good.
Now, I saw Alien when I was pretty young, so, like, I don't really get scared of much of anything I watch anymore, but, like, that scared me.
Yeah.
That big you-know-what alien
it's
scared me.
Atmospheric is the word I use.
Now, Star Trek, yay or nay? Nay?
No.
Nay?
I like the second one.
Star Trek.
Inner Darkness.
Yeah, but
That's
more
a
or
good
less,
movie.
the TV shows are unbelievable. The
Yeah,
Picard,
not
Star
me.
Trek,
Not for
and
me.
Deep Space Nine are unbelievable.
Yeah, I never get that chance.
That's okay. That did quickly.
You ever see Interstellar?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched Interstellar for the first time when flying to Turkey.
Oh.
Yeah,
On a
on a
plane?
screen that was maybe
Oh.
8 inches by 8.
Dude, that's a
6 inches.
disservice to the movie. Did you still like it?
I was crying.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Wow, imagine watching that on a real TV screen.
Colin, I don't cry in a lot of movies. I cried.
Unbelievable film.
I cried.
Unbelievable film.
I bawled my eyes.
One of the great movies of all time.
Could I interest you in Zathura, a space adventure?
Really good. With Josh Hutcherson.
And Dak Shepard.
Really good.
Dak Shepard comes in, starts eating all the food.
Better than Jumanji. Better board game movie than Jumanji.
Original Jumanji with the great Robin Williams, I disagree.
I agree. I agree with your Christian's take. I agree. I like Zathura.
I got the right crowd for that take.
My two favorite movies of Robin Williams, quickly. That Jumanji and Good Will Hunting. The only the hell
Dead
is his
Poets
name?
Society.
Unbelievable. You're right. That's 3.
What's the nanny movie?
Mrs. Doubtfire. I mean,
Good
dude,
movie.
Robin Williams is awesome. Rest in peace,
Good
one
movie.
of the goats. The point I was trying to make about the
Ben Affleck?
I can't stand it. That's the one Ben
You
Affleck.
don't like Ben Affleck?
No, I can't stand
What
it.
did Ben Affleck do to
I'm
you?
a Ben Affleck stan, dude.
What happened to Ben
all
Affleck?
then never mind.
What's
And
wrong with Ben
J-Lo,
Affleck?
she can go to hell.
My brother and I, it's rich of me to say this.
What, he
but
cut you off? What's
No,
going on?
I don't like his. I don't think he's that good of an actor. That's just.
Yo, where does your brother have to
He's
do
a
with
very
this?
good director.
Not denying that.
He's a very good director.
I'm not.
You ever see
denying.
The Town?
Yeah, it's with
Great
the
movie.
Robin the Banks and the
And
masks
the Boston
and the
guys?
nanny masks.
Great movie.
Yeah.
You ever see Argo?
I quickly on The Town. Jeremy Renner stole the show for me. In
I
that
agree.
Movie.
But he directed the movie.
Yeah, understood. What other one?
Argo.
When it's him and Bruce
It's
Willis.
about the
That's
Iranian.
a space movie.
No, it's not.
What's the one with the meteor? What's the one
Willis.
with what's the one with the meteor?
Apocalypse
the really good looking
No, that's
the
a
really
Vietnam
good looking
movie.
girl from Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
is his
it's,
girlfriend. They got to
The Day
destroy the
After
meteor.
Tomorrow? No,
yeah, maybe. They got to destroy the meteor.
No, it's not that. It's like The Day After Tomorrow or something like that.
But it's
That's
Bruce
not-
Willis, Ben Affleck, and the really hot girl from Lord of the Rings.
Armageddon.
There you go.
Armageddon.
That's what I was thinking
Not
of.
bad.
Armageddon.
Not bad.
Here's-
Cheesy.
Argo is about the Iran hostage crisis in 1980.
Oh, I've never seen it.
No, it's a great
I've
movie.
never
Won
seen
Best Picture.
Oh,
Mike
okay.
Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. We'll take a time out, puts the book next as we close out on a Friday edition of the program right here on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most, getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar and Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. In office, West Palm Beach.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees within the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 24 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and Men's Lacrosse title. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, proud partner of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. We got the Kentucky Derby tomorrow. We got some NBA Game 7 action. We got some NHL Game 7 action. We got some MLB over the weekend. Lot to look forward to. I think it's time for us to make a couple picks. Why don't we blitz the book, presented by Hard Rock Bet.
Send some heat. Pin your ears back. It's time to blitz the book. Presented by Hard Rock Bet.
Blitz the book with Hard Rock Bet, where myself, Mike, Christian will make some picks here against the spread or parlay, whatever it may be. We'll pick the battle of the bets as well. All right, battle of the bets this week is the Houston Golden State game, which is tonight, Game 6. Each team to score 96 or fewer, including overtime, plus 700. So Battle of the Bets, for those who don't know, is a Hard Rock Bet where money is pooled together by Hard Rock Bet, and you get great odds. All you got to pick is an over or an under that they decide. And their over-under today is, for Houston Golden State, take the under. They have to score 96 or fewer apiece, including overtime. And the over, if you want to flip on that, plus 700 again, each team to score 108 or more, including overtime.
All right, let's go through.
I don't want to be a square, but that feels like an overplay, right?
Let's go through the last couple of games. Let's do a little research.
Nice.
So
it's been a low-scoring series.
So the Rockets, hang on, it went over the last game, 131 to 116. It went over in Game 5, or this is Game 4. It went over as well.
You have it up in front of you right now?
I do.
Okay, so what are the scores?
So last game, 131 to 116.
Right.
Game before that, 109 to 106. Game before that, 104 to 93.
They've been scoring more and more as the season goes along.
Game before that, 109 to 94. And Game 1 was the low score, 95 to 85. Do you think this is more like Game 1? Or
figuring
more,
each other out.
Right. Got a trend. And
over.
I think over. Over is the answer,
and
right?
I love having overtime in the back of your pocket. It's like, oh, man, 98, 100, bang, buzzer beater. All tied up, 100 apiece. We're going to both get over 108.
Boys, do you want to know who I think is crucial for this? So if I got this right, both teams had to score over 96.
So 108.
No.
108. Okay.
There's a middle there. That's
do
how
you want to know?
All
right, do you want to know who's crucial here? Then it's Jalen Green.
Yeah,
if Jalen Green stinks, we're not going to hit that.
Yeah,
I'm betting on Green to make some
Warriors
shots.
are going to score. It's a matter of if the Rockets are going to score.
And that line, according to Hard Rock Bet, is 5.5.
Yeah.
So they're expecting it to be somewhat close.
And that's plus 700 too. That's good odds.
And guys, I'm the ultimate. Colin and I, when we were at the Orange Bowl, all right, when we were live watching the Orange Bowl, Christian, when your Penn State Indy Lions were there, we bet the under, and it was a miserable experience. It was miserable.
Well, yeah, like you're also sitting in an end zone, so you want no action in front
That's
of you.
what I mean. Like,
let's have everyone 80 yards away at the 40.
Yeah. And Christian, another thing, my boys and I, we like to bet EPL soccer. And one of my friends is obsessed with unders. I'm like, dude, no more unders. Let's go over.
I think Mike and I did have secretly a good time betting the under that game in the Orange Bowl.
We did until it didn't hit.
Then then it didn't hit, and then we're
Christian. I don't need to tell you how the game shook out as a Penn State fan, but like it looked. The under in Penn State looked like such a lock
what
for
was it?
3.5 quarters.
Yeah, it was 10-10 into the fourth quarter.
For 3.5 quarters. We're like, oh my God, Penn State in the under. What a bet, Colin.
All the
fist
people
bumping, the Notre Dame people
asking
in front of
us, like, what the hell are you guys rooting for? It's like, I was rooting for the under.
So if you hit the over or the under, and this is not a normal over-under where it's a -110. No, plus 700, both teams over 108. You get a share of that $250,000
It's $250. Wow.
So you got to go over on this.
Yeah, it's over, dude.
All right, that's going to be our Battle of the Bets pick. What parlay are we putting together?
All right, so first things first, let's do the NHL game tonight. Blues-Jets.
That's all you.
Blues.
That's all you, bro.
Blues to win. It's game 6. Blues have won both. The home team has won every game so far. Blues in their building. It's a great. They got Binnington there as the goalie. -120. Let's start there.
All right.
Let's root for a game 7.
Okay. Do we like Golden State tonight? Do we like Houston and the points? It's
It's -5.5.
Okay.
I would take Golden State.
Okay, yeah. Let's take Golden State 5.5. And then you guys like Denver, right? Both of you.
Yeah.
So we'll go Denver -1. So Denver -1.
And let's add a quick MLB before we close out here.
What are the Yankees at? They should be front and center.
The Yankees are playing the Rays -250 to win. -1.5 is 120.
Let's go -1.5.
Go the run line. Yeah.
Let's go -1.5 for the Yanks and bank on a Judge home run. We've been high on Judge all week.
Well, you're gonna get a Judge home run. Is anybody else gonna be on base? Is the real problem.
Yeah, that's the issue. But we've been high on Judge all week.
4-bet parlay. You put together a plus 1100. We'll take that. No problem. Blues to win. Warriors to cover -5.5. Nuggets to cover -1 in game 7. And then the Yankees to beat the Rays with a -1.5 line. Go ahead.
Can we take off the Yankees and instead do Aaron Judge to hit a home run? Plus 155?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Instead. We'll do that instead. I like that more. All right, Aaron Judge. How about let's do Aaron Judge? Let's do Aaron Judge to hit a home run too.
That's what I just said.
On top of it, I think you said exchange for the Yankees. I think we do the Yankees to win as well.
All right, well, put aside when the show's over in 5 seconds.
Plus 2 for 2,300. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. So long. ESPN 106.3.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy's